Hi everyone. Um, this is a commentary for our Diamond Hagan and Omega Geek review.
Woo.
Everyone's impressed.
Impressive. It's Giovanni.
Yes, it is. Is this the first time Giovanni's appeared in one of my episodes? Oh no, sorry, Nixon and Hogan.
Yeah. I'm really sorry to everyone about the camera. The problem is that my floor in the kitchen is very bad, and it's gotten worse as the years have passed. So I realized literally the only way to correct it is to set the tripod on 2x4 planks, which I don't have.
Yeah.
So whenever my body kind of vaguely moves, the camera moves.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Like my audio's bad, your visual has a problem. It equals us out.
That's
Plus,
true.
plus with mine, you can see the shadow of the camera on me.
Oh yeah, it kind of looks like you have an extra appendage.
Yeah, someone said it looked like a cross.
That cross off Hagen. That's fine, honey. All your producer coworkers can gather together on Skype calls and make fun of us, if they so choose.
I'm fairly sure they do that already, but that's mostly about my makeup.
Oh. No one's ever said they didn't like your makeup except Lord Cat, and no one cares what he thinks.
I'm pretty sure Lord Cat's fans give a shit what he thinks,
Well, yeah, but
but they don't count because they're twats.
dun dun dun. Yeah,
So,
not even my cousin is a Lord Cat fan.
Kevin,
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's a Lord Cat fan. He's just Doug Spoonie in the car.
okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, so, do you want to tell the story of why the episode was being done and why it's a crossover and all this? Because it's an epic tale.
Yeah, it is an epic tale. Years and years and years ago, I was driving to work and in Philly, and they had the director of 13th Child was on the Preston and Steve in the morning show, and they interviewed him, and I was like, wow, this opens tonight. This I like the Jersey Devil. This sounds like a good movie. So I wrangled my best friend. I'm like, we're gonna go see this movie, and literally we were two of five people in the theater, and it was just my only memories of seeing it in the theater are holding my breath so I didn't, burst out laughing. And we left, and my friend was like, "Wow, we saw a Mystery Science Theater movie before it hit Mystery Science Theater. This is your first B movie experience." I was like, "Yay!" And then I'd always remembered it as like, "Oh, that horrible movie." And then when years ago, when I first became aware of Hagen's reviews, I found her on YouTube, and I left a comment, and I was like, "Hey, so I saw a bad movie one time. It's called 13th Child, and it was really bad, and I think you're cute. So bye."
And and that comment became I don't know, did I reply to the comment or not?
No, you didn't, because I was like, I should have said more. So then I PM'd you on YouTube, and I was like, I think you're cute, and if you're gay for reals, you should chat with me because I'm not a stalker. Okay, bye. Okay, I was more eloquent than that, but you know what I mean.
Oh, your message was truly heartfelt.
Do you know that I literally, like, I was at the Renaissance Fair, 2 days before that. I literally debated with myself the whole entire day as I walked around the Renaissance Fair. Should I contact this girl? Should I not? And it took like two shots of whiskey before I had the nerve to PM you on YouTube.
And then I sent a very nice message back.
You were like, come talk to me on Skype. And I'm like, what is this Skype program? I don't know what it is.
I had just literally got Skype because a cold guy informed me that it was the messenger service that is used by all of the cool internet reviewer people. Because
I'd never heard of it before. I
because
had to
it's
ask people on Facebook. I'm like, "What's Skype?" And people are like, "Oh, it's a video chat program." So, like, I I actually stacked a whole bunch of role playing books, and then put my laptop on top with a webcam on, so it would be on a downward angle, so my face wouldn't look fat. And then you were like, "I don't have video," and I'm like, "Okay, good."
yeah, just took audio de audio.
Yep,
I still don't have a webcam,
I'll
but
get you one if you want.
that's fine. You know, it's not exactly 100% necessary.
Well, you can have the one that I used to record with. It's a USB, so
It's not really necessary. The only thing I could really have it used for it would be if I was recording something, that I needed it to be done in a webcam, which, interestingly, about 3 days ago, I had to record something like that for one Michael Jevons, and What I did was I took my regular camera and I stacked it on top of a bunch of DVDs in front of the screen and read, did my bits into the camera, looking slightly offside, then went to the side, read the next line, came back and did the rest.
Oh, by the way, because commentary wise, this is so not how mental institutions actually work. Like I've worked for managed behavioral health care, and any facility like this would be shut the fuck down like right away. Like
Yeah.
this is just don't think that this is the way that.
You should,
I
you should,
mean, we're not even in the asylum system anymore, but like this is not how a modern mental health facility operates.
you should show this movie to your parents.
Just that part.
Yeah,
It
to
would be
get
like,
their comments because, for anyone who doesn't know, Omega's parents both are psychiatric doctors of some description.
well, no, they're psychologists because psychiatrists are different.
Ah,
But they are PhDs. They're both doctors. They're Doctor and Doctor Omega. But they met and they were both working at Byberry, which is now closed. If you Google Byberry, Philadelphia, you'll find a lot of really creepy urban explorer photos. But it was actually the first asylum in Pennsylvania back in like the 1700s. So
was it infamous for some reason? I can't remember.
yeah, actually, there was a documentary that was done in the 30s about it. It actually finally closed in the late 70s. And unfortunately, a lot of the people who had been there for years and years and years and years, amen, who had no family left, were just turned out into the street.
Ah,
And the homeless population of Philadelphia rose after Byberry closed. But my parents did meet in an asylum. Thank you very much. The end
very,
when they
very
were.
romantic. So, um,
Hmm,
this film is terrible, everyone.
it's really bad.
It's one. This is this. There is no reason this episode should be as long as it is because the film is very boring, but it's like a perfect storm of crossovers are always longer than a single one would be because you got the extra people talking to each other elements, and you've got both people trying to put their opinions into it, so it makes the episode naturally longer. But plus, this is like Children of the Living Dead, as in there's a lot of things wrong with it. So you got to really sort of go bit by bit. This is wrong because this is wrong because this is wrong because this is wrong, and you put those together, and you end up with an episode that definitely not in my top 10 episodes, and it's 45 fucking minutes long, and I apologize.
And the British DA is she's from upstairs downstairs. Like I googled her, like she can act apparently. And the only thing I can think of is they purposely paid her to act badly.
Well, I don't think it's quite right. Well, see, what happens is if you have a good actor with a bad director who doesn't actually tell them what to do in the performance to make it good, the actor doesn't know what if their performance is good or not unless they're told.
Really? Because I think if you were an actor, you'd know if you were acting well or you were just phoning it in. I mean, I'm a writer and I can tell when I just dash some shit off or when I really spend some time on something. I mean, if you give your effort, you can tell your effort, right?
You give well with acting, you're not you give the performance you're asked for unless
That's
you want to overpower the director. So she
which in this case should have happened.
possibly, well, probably, but didn't happen. I don't think she was paid to act badly. Hello, David Duchovny in Twin Peaks.
He looks pretty alright. I've never seen Twin Peaks, but I heard he played a cross-dresser.
Cross-dressing FBI agent. So, this is the evolution of Mulder from cross-dressing FBI agent to cross-dressing lead in the X-Files to killing Scully and using her skin and then becoming DA.
No, because in the movies they're like all sorts of a couple now, which makes me happy. Although the second movie was basically just, that 90-minute episode you wanted? No. Well, here it is. Okay. Also, they're a couple now. All right.
But still, the unseen history of X-Files. This is X-Files 3, and that's what happened to Mulder and Scully.
Okay, dear. If
Mulder
you say
murdered
so.
Scully and wears her skin and pretends to be DA.
With a British accent. Oh,
Mhm.
isn't Gillian Anderson is British though, isn't she?
Well, she was born in America, raised in England, and depending on where she is, she will put on an American or English accent.
I guess she has a good voice though, because she voiced the Mother Wolf in oh shoot, that anime. I can't think of it now.
Is it like the one
What?
word?
No, it was a real big deal a while back. It was the girl and she's raised by wolves. Princess Mononoke, that's it.
Hmm.
Thank you. Okay, also, I just want to point out that it says in the credits, we bring it up in the episode, that all of the dead deer that are used are actually roadkill, and that's horrible.
But
Like, I
is it better to kill actual deer?
well, they could have just bought the deer off a hunter. I mean, hunt. All right, what for those of you who aren't in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware area, white-tailed deer. There's about a million bajillion of them because they don't have any predators anymore. We killed all the predators. So basically, they exist in huge numbers to get hit by cars and endanger people, and to spread Lyme disease through deer ticks. So, I mean, I'm a good person and everything, but I do support deer hunting. I know a lot of deer hunters, and I don't see why they had to use horrible, disgusting roadkill carcasses when they could have just bought some carcasses off a hunter.
Quite right, Omega. Why have, deer that are killed, accidentally when you can go off and have deer that were killed deliberately?
Well, no, because you don't know how long they've been sitting, at the side of the road. You don't know what's growing in them. That's a biohazard for your actors. I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't.
this film had a $5 million budget. They probably made sure that any deer that they were using were not gonna kill anyone.
I guess I think that's horrible.
If you have any problems with it, you can take this up with Cliff Robertson because he co-wrote this, and
Isn't he dead?
yes, he is.
Damn it.
Yeah, I mentioned the fact that he's dead in my sort of roundup at the end.
Yeah.
Because he's dead, it's unlikely we'll ever see 13th Child 2, and yay for that.
I like how that guy was shocked. Like, wait a second, I put up a carcass specifically to lure something, and then it came, and I'm shocked.
Was that what he was doing? I thought he was just finding a carcass. He killed something and then he was put it into his truck and he was going to drive off.
No, he like hoisted it all up. He sat there like he was trying to lure something. I could never figure out if it was a mountain lion or something like because we do have mountain lions in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So
Well, that's possible, but it's also possible that he was intending to just drive off, but the director couldn't show that.
I guess.
He was just terrible enough to not
Look,
do
honey,
it.
stock footage of trees.
Now, someone's going to comment about why I decided to put the disposable teens there, but the disposable teens was used in the opening shot of Blair Witch 2, and this reminds me of the opening shot of Blair Witch 2.
Hmm.
Just a random shot of going over trees. Oh, there they're trying to be The Shining.
I like how they specified it was Southern Jersey because we're like, wow, those are great Montana trees.
Well, I've seen some pine barrens. There's the ones in Palestine and Zombie Christ. It could have been in Israel.
Pine Barrens are cool. I've driven through there on the way to the shore. See, this scene pissed me off too because I'm like okay, so you've got like Huckster McRedneck from the Atlantic County coroner's office, but then you have like the guy that we call Coolio, and he's supposed to be from the inner city, and they're just kind of like, well, it's a crime scene. I mean, they're not. They're just kind of like it just. I mean, even I've seen Law and Order, and that's not how they do it.
Yeah, it was absolutely fucking terrible.
And the thing is, this guy's torso, like they're saying, okay, it's this escaped convict. No one ever tries to solve his murder.
Yeah,
Like he's just there as a prop, and I keep thinking that's the torso of a human being. Like, is no one concerned with who? If the Jersey Devil didn't kill this guy, who did?
and if you've been sent down there as a cover, you got to actually pretend to do what you're supposed to be there for.
Oh wait, maybe he wasn't a convict. Maybe that torso was the torso of the guy that got yoinked out the truck last scene. I
No,
didn't
that
think.
guy was in his 60s. That torso is not a 60s guy.
You don't think so?
No, it's way too. I don't want to say young, but it's maybe it's the type of plastic they chose, but it does not look like a 6-year-old guy's chest.
Mm.
The
And I like how that guy like found the talon, like which looks exactly like, a stick.
Yeah, right beside the sticks in the water. But I really think we should. I really wish we'd referred to the white cop as Vanilla Ice during the entire time, just to keep the rapper thing going on.
He doesn't look like Vanilla Ice, but he does bear a passing resemblance to the werewolf from True Blood.
I think we just would have gone with the rappers thing.
Okay.
Because I don't know why they were like, hey, look, we're just gonna reference
Also, in
rappers.
the scene, the in his cell, I swear to God, it does kind of look like the toilet has an electrical line because the electrical line goes right down the back of where the toilet is.
It does look a bit like Eastern State as well, doesn't it?
It what I think this probably is I think it's an abandoned factory
Oh,
because all the establishing shots look like it looks like an abandoned factory.
hmm. Well,
Like honestly.
this is the very long Fight Club bit, which I was gonna cut. Which originally it was just the entire set of the rules from Fight Club, which didn't quite work. Oh, just in case anyone was wondering, this whole bit with the Fight Club, this was not on the script. I just decided to edit it together
And I'm
based
like,
on the
this is
script.
a million years. Why did you do that? And you were like, Creature thought it was funny, and I was like, well, fun.
Yeah, well, the original version was just the rules, which was like a minute. So then I decided to cut it down a bit and put it in with different bits of the film, and it was still almost a minute. Then you said to cut it down, and I showed it to Creature, who runs the fan Tumblr. He gets to watch my episodes usually before they go up, just to make sure they're okay. And he thought it was very, very, very funny. So basically he strongly suggested not cutting any of it. So I already did the work, so fuck it, I'm not gonna cut it.
Mm. I mean, you can. Well, you like long bits anyway, so.
This is true. The how to describe it?
Although after the few times it sounds like wank, it sounds like quack, and it sounds like you're quacking.
Oh, sorry.
Just saying.
Although it was just one recording of me saying wank.
That's true. You don't have like audition or anything spiffy.
Yeah, I had none of that. I had to do that entirely by sort of audio, and that's why it's quite rough. If I had audition, it would have been much better. I didn't even have access to looking at the
Oh,
waveform.
there's the trucker, and like nobody, like, again, like they just drive right by his body and just like, well,
Yeah. If I had audition, I could have made that scene about much funnier.
well.
But but yeah, that wasn't in the script. What the script was where we started. I went into this sort of side thing about talking about replacing people's heads. Originally, the script was Ringo Starr. I thought George Harrison was funnier, and then you're like you were weird. And I talked about Fight Club, so I was like, I really should dramatize how funny this is because I thought for literally years that if you replace the word wank in Fight Club, word fight with wank, it is one of the funniest things ever, and I still think so. But I possibly didn't do it quite justice.
I still can't get over the like, we'll just break it in on this guy's property. Like, literally, these are the worst legal professionals ever.
Why are they going to his house?
I don't know. I think it's a guy's like, we should go to the old trap place, and she's like, I, like,
Why?
there would be okay if a convict, is murdered and dumped in the woods. I mean, you could probably ask a local property owner if they've seen anything, but they're treating him like, a suspect already when he's just apparently some local libertarian.
He's got the maybe it was his land, and it's because Shroud is an evil sounding name, although nowhere near as evil as Nikolai Carpathia.
Or Darkheart rapes babies.
Yeah, or even Franco Macaluso.
And okay, here's the thing. This cop, this is incredibly wrong. This is obviously a county or state policeman. But here's the thing. I mean, unless it's someone that had established that he was there specifically to guard this guy, it's not. Why would you have a policeman in a private mental health facility? You wouldn't. The only thing that I can think is that he was under police protection, but everything is like the whole timeline is so confused up here.
Yeah, even if they'd done something simple like giving the date of each day rather than saying earlier today, yesterday, and stuff like that, that just confuses things.
20 years ago from 3 days from now. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah, if they'd given us
You don't have a
dates,
TARDIS.
if they give us dates, it would have been better, or if they just had it in fucking chronological order. But I got the feeling that the uh, Rafiki was put in there after what happened. So this guy, the police wanted to question him as soon as he was deemed able to answer questions. So they had him there just in case.
I mean, I guess he could have been guard, like, to make sure the guy wasn't killed. But again,
But
this
why
is
was he
not
out in the sort of bit with everyone else at the start?
because I think that happened beforehand.
No, that happened. That as far as I can
Oh,
tell.
like he was in the common room yet? Well, no, because technically he did have the guard with him. Like if someone's on one-on-one, like if they're, on suicide watch or something like that, they're still allowed in the common room or like, with the general population of the facility, but the orderly is going to be with them still.
Yeah, but I meant as I understand the setup with these days, all of the stuff in the mental hospital is set after the events at the end of the film.
That's
So is in like a day he gets picked up, and then he goes to the mental institution, and then he's let into the common room.
I don't know. And these are the worst cops ever. Like literally, like they were almost hit by those kids. Give them a ticket.
Yeah, you don't even
I've been ticketed for less.
they don't even give him a ticket the next day when they run into them.
And Jersey cops are bastards too. So I mean, she's like, well, I've been poking around this guy's land. I better go in his house. Now, actually, I found out that Shroud's house is actually a local museum.
Oh, it is definitely okay.
Yeah. So if we're ever in the Jersey area and we have time, I kind of want to go check it out.
Oh, okay. Omega and Hagan go to the place where they filmed 13th Child just so we can be all like, hey, your place was in a terrible movie. We know. Do
Well,
you want to buy it in the gift shop?
apparently it's like it's the last surviving building, like the big like farm and mansion of what used to be a mill town back in the day.
Hmm.
And it's so they it doubles as a museum, and I think it's one of those like come and look, and if you'd like to donate to us, please do kind of thing. So
Do you think they sell copies of this film?
I think they probably don't want to talk about it.
Oh, Jesus, this.
It's so bad. I mean, like, it, okay, I can buy that he's a rich eccentric, and he's really into taxidermy and stuff like that, but she's just the worst DA ever. He's like, here, have some wine that I totally probably could
What
have drunk just now.
now? What I want to know is, okay, when I was editing this, I noticed this, or I worked this out. Where the fuck is his vineyard?
There are vineyards in New Jersey.
Oh, I know there. I figured there probably were, but he's like in the right in the middle of the pine barrens, and all we see is his house surrounded by thick forest.
Well, he could own vineyards in other parts. He could even own vineyards in California. You know, it's it doesn't have to be nearby. I mean, if he owns a vineyard and they send him last year's stuff, he might have a bottle of it.
I don't know. I'm thinking from the way he said it, sounds like it was nearby or on the grounds or something.
It's possible.
Oh, during our discussion of this bit, I was slightly wrong. Because whenever I'm editing, I have to go over bits of the film over and over and over again, and I can actually spot things that I missed the first time around.
Hmm.
And with this guy didn't rent or buy this trailer. This has literally been in the woods there for years and years and years.
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't want to question you in the scripts because you were on a roll. So
Yeah. So it's just as stupid as what I said, but it's even worse.
it's even worse because that's disgusting. Like there's horror in there. Like there's probably bubonic plague. You don't want to get naked in a place like that. That is
Yeah.
like I feel itchy just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Stupid Jersey teens.
No. Look at this one. She's like, don't peek. Okay, I'm ready now. I took off my jacket. Check it out. I have shoulders. Like,
So trashy.
play some music. And then I play the
Like
1960s Dalek at Christmas song.
I'm not wearing a bra because I'm Jersey trash. I should watch it in case we have fans in New Jersey. Sorry about that, you guys. He's got fringe in his pants. I didn't realize that at first.
You have a friend in New Jersey, Dodger.
Yeah, no, but I mean if they're listening to the thing.
Well, they might. Hello,
And,
Dodger, if you're listening.
and Cryptic Psych, he's from Jersey.
Well, he's originally from Orleans,
That's true.
but he moved to New
So it
Jersey.
doesn't really count. Well, because I grew up in Philly. It's not my fault. I'm a product of where I grew up because we don't like Jersey, so.
Yeah, it's a bit
Right.
like um, my family is from Edinburgh in Scotland, so as a matter of course, I have to hate Glasgow.
Yeah, damn it. Train Spotting.
Yep,
I've actually never seen Train Spotting.
it's a decent film. But Glasgow and Edinburgh, if you put Edinburgh and Glasgow together, you actually got a really quite kick-ass city together. Glasgow is like all the industry, and Edinburgh has all the culture. But that was Ferocious Female Freedom Fighters, which is a movie by Troma. They got the rights to this Indonesian martial arts film, and they redubbed it What's Up Tiger Lily style. And apparently the guys who redubbed it were terrified of the people who originally made it uh, finding them after finding out what they'd done to their film. It's a martial arts film, and I just love that little clip of, Jesus Christ, I'm glad I'm not in that scene.
See, there's another thing. It's like, why is she spending all this time interviewing him? She's obviously been there for hours.
Yep.
And it's not even about like she's not even asking him, okay, there was a guy even killed on your land or killed thereby. Do you know anything? She's like talking about his political view. It's just so stupid. Like, I mean, no offense or nothing, a rape joke's never funny, but she's like basically begging to be taken advantage of and sexually assaulted.
Well, rape jokes can be funny. All jokes can be funny if you give them the right context and you do them the right way.
Like literally, like seriously, like there is nothing more that she could do to make it easier for him if he were, the horrible person they suspect he is, to rape her than everything she's doing. Like you'd think if she at least went to law school, she. Sorry.
They set the script up in such a way to try and get him to do monologues for no
I
reason
mean,
at all.
it would make sense actually if she were a journalist, a reporter. Like if the assistant DA went to her and said, "Look, you can go places that I can't off the record. I need you to investigate this." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Even the cat's upset. Like that would make sense, but she's a legal professional. She's got to have passed the bar.
Yep.
Like, uh,
I agree totally.
and how did those guys in fucking in the trailer not hear their friends, drive up?
And how
Because
many hours were they fucking for? Because they were still in the middle of fucking.
that's true.
Did they
They like,
take a break to be all like, oh, look at that mold, that's turning me on again, let's fuck again?
oh my gosh, this is horrible. All of this this is grr, arg.
Ah, it's,
This is just it's so bad.
films like this, like Children of the Living Dead, like Intermedio, in many ways, these are the hardest ones to do decent reviews out of because it's basically, you get a lot of just very cold, this is stupid, this is why this is stupid. You know, Lupa and Phalis are quite good at making things like that funny, like they did with The Room and Birdemic and stuff. Like, I would have completely floundered attempting to do those reviews.
Well, I noticed that Lupa is really a riffer. Like when I first started watching her stuff, because Nash would play it, like that's what it reminded me a lot of. She does a lot of overdub riffing, which is good because she has a good tone for it.
Yeah,
You don't do that as much in your reviews.
yeah. The madder a film is, the better I generally the review is with me. Some people, if they have just things that are just all wall to wall insanity, they can't handle that. Well, I can.
And seriously, like, why didn't they like? These kids could have been on drugs. They're just like, hey, have some clothes. You should probably go to a hospital or something. Hope you weren't ODing on anything or getting raped by anyone. Okay, bye.
And why the fuck was the kid subplot in there anyway?
I have no idea.
'Cause
It was useless.
yeah, the guys pretending to be Jersey Devil. Oh no, look, there's people faking the Jersey Devil while the Jersey Devil is running around, and the Jersey Devil is called Bruno for some reason. Ah, I'm guessing named after Bruno Mattei,
I don't know who that is.
Italian film director. I do believe he directed Rat's Night of Terror.
Dun dun dun. I had the camera a bit too close for Giovanni. Usually it's back a little bit.
I thought it was fine.
She's like,
Um,
"Hi, I know I haven't seen you since yesterday, so it's a good thing you didn't think that I was missing or raped or anything. I'm just saying."
yeah, she went missing for a day.
She, and like ugh, and her freaking out about the guy hanging up the deer. That's how you drain a deer. Like again, I work with hunters at my day job, and if she was raised or even lived any time in this rural backwoods county, she would know that's how you. Anyway,
Yeah, that's shit you pick up through osmosis.
yeah. Okay, this is the most famous part of the movie as far as I'm concerned because this was the part that literally, like, I actually was dumbstruck when I first saw it. And this was the part that I remember even to this day. So, all right, here's the lab tech. He looks like fat old Seth Green, right? Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, Hagen talks for a bit. And then he takes the sample eventually when he stops. It's like he doesn't know where he's supposed to be looking, the actor, so he just kind of keeps like, yeah, okay, right, uh-huh. Okay, so he takes the sample, he takes it, he has a clipboard, and a real professional outfit he's got on there at the coroner's office. Just saying. So okay, so he's about to take it away. Anytime, Seth Green, do it.
You don't need to take time this your line perfectly to say
Yes, I do.
okay.
Commentary must be perfect. So
Okay.
he takes it away and he goes off to do things and stuff. And then they have, a scene. Look, like, oh yeah, we found this torso, this the remains of a human being.
We had it on like the in the water for like 3 days, and then we had it in the car for like an extra day and a half.
Like seriously, okay, so I know they're jaded Jersey people, but seriously, those are human remains. That was a person. The disrespect shown to whoever this murder victim was is horrendous. I didn't even think of it at the time.
Because it's a convict, it's okay, even though it might not be a convict.
Yeah, you don't know that. You suspect he's an escaped convict because of his tattoos, but it could just be some guy. That's somebody. Aren't you even going to find out who he is? Trying to make a positive ID?
He just
Ah.
wanted somebody to love.
Right. Okay, so this guy comes back, and it's literally been 2 minutes and 23 seconds of screen time, and he has done
And that's
DNA sequencing.
unbroken screen time. It's not like,
Unbro-
there could have been hours in between.
Right, but he has done multiple species DNA sequencing. He's done carbon 14 dating. He's done a battery of mass spectroanalysis kind of tests that take weeks, if not months, to perform. And then the guy's like, "Are you sure?" And then he actually gives the line, "Yeah, I even ran them twice."
And then he comes back again having thrown a few new ones in after doing it a third time.
Because if this New Jersey County Coroner's Office has that ability, they should be working with the fucking FBI.
Well,
I mean, kudos for being able to shoot in what looks like an actual real lab, but no.
I got the feeling that they had no idea what they were doing. Not just in the filmmaking. I'm talking about the characters. These guys have never had to deal with anything, and so are just guessing.
I guess, but okay, if I was writing the script, even I know that. Like, there's a certain amount of knowledge that every person has, or maybe I'm just a super genius,
Even if
but
it's just based on stuff like CSI.
yeah. I mean, obviously, well, no, CSI is not very realistic because they do tests in record speed too. Okay, anyone who used to watch a lot of court TV back before it became true TV and it just showed reality shit, you know this kind of stuff. Those kind of tests take a long time. I don't know.
It's horrifying. It's
And
oh boy.
see, this guy, he's the only guy that has the right in this movie, as far as I'm concerned, to be disgusted by deers being hung up, to drain because he's from the inner city. That's his thing.
I can
But
think of
what the
someone.
fuck's going on?
I can think of someone. The guy who says at the very end, whenever the blondie's phoning in, "You have reached the office of the Attorney General." That guy did not sound like he was from the Boondocks.
Well, he might have been from Trenton or Camden
Yeah, I
or
think he
New.
was like from inner city somewhere. So I think that's the second guy. Although we're not even sure about him, and he's like a recording, and he has one line.
And I think you mean the district attorney, not the attorney general.
Yeah, district attorney.
Somebody
Your American political system is insane.
different.
You and your multiple jerseys.
We only
Jersey,
have one.
you have one and we have one, and Jersey. Okay, here's the weird thing for anyone who doesn't know. New Jersey obviously is famous for being trashy and uh, a little bit of a running joke.
Also corn.
Yeah,
Corn and
well,
tomatoes. They have good corn and tomatoes.
Jersey itself is pretty much middle class 1950s, in 1950s England, but still around like that today. You go to Jersey, you got a lot of people who are fairly wealthy. You got a lot of cream tea. It's like
What's
going on a holiday to the past.
what's cream tea?
Sorry, cream teas. It's basically like fancy teas with cream and cup and cakes and stuff. It's
Oh, okay.
it's like taking a trip back into the 1950s, 1940s, 1930s.
I was thinking it would be like bubble tea and have tapioca in it because that was fun.
Oh no.
That's not as happy for me. I'm remembering my other flashbacks to my other voiceovers. I'm all dubbed at once.
Oh no, this is the salute to Mr. Shroud.
Yeah, I know. But it looked like for a minute, because I have the sound off, it looked for a minute like he was reminiscing about that time he was reminiscing.
And there's Nicola as the off-screen minion.
I just saw a bug go up.
Yes, there was.
That was huge. What kind of bug was that?
That was a Daddy Longlegs.
It went fast up the wall.
Yeah, well, remember, daddy longlegs, a European is what we. Daddy longlegs is not actually an official name for any insect. It's just a colloquial term, and it's used for different insects on either side of the
Is
Atlantic.
is it a flying one?
A daddy longlegs in UK thing is basically like a very large fly, but it's entirely harmless.
No, I don't like that. I don't want to go to yours now.
It's perfectly fine, honey. It's
We
it's
have them too. We call them mosquito hawks. They eat mosquitoes, but they're big and horrible and flail about. Daddy longlegs on ours looks like that, but it's a spider and it doesn't fly.
our ones. It's they can fly. They just they not very good at it. They have long legs.
Can we? Is there a spray?
Insect spray would work.
Okay, let's get some.
You know, if we
Are they
have,
in England?
yeah, they're all over Europe.
Oh God.
You've got
Does
insects everywhere.
anyone
At
know?
least they're no. At least there's no chance that they'll sting you.
I don't want it to be near me anyway.
Well, if we see any, I can put them out of the house.
Okay. Don't put it out of the house. Kill it.
And
And she's like, my gun that doesn't work.
then bleh, 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 bleh.
Too bad for you, policeman.
So
So
did you know
that's
who?
two dead policemen now.
So did you know? Did you know that who Guar was? Whenever I wrote that line.
No, actually, I suggested the line because when we saw the movie, Mina turned to me and she's like, "Oh my God, the monster looks like something out of a Gwar video." So I did not know at the time.
Like, Guar.
I know who they are now because obviously I Googled it since, you know, back in the day when we saw this. And also Nash has played a few of their videos sometimes.
I have a few Guar things, and I'm thinking about possibly putting one of their films onto my review list. Maybe not. I'm not. They seem to be very. There doesn't seem. They're very, very not well formed. I'm not saying about budget or anything, but they seem to be very random of just different events that don't make much sense.
Well, see, the actual Jersey Devil is kind of a letdown because this. Okay, the episode of the first season X Files episode of the Jersey Devil was scarier than this because I remember watching that one in my basement and being like, "Oh God!" But
This is just
like
about
the
as
actual,
accurate.
huh?
This is just about as accurate as the X Files episode.
Pretty much. But the actual Legend of the Jersey Devil, if you wrote it correctly, you could make a fairly good horror movie out of it.
Oh, do you want to bitch about the fact that we didn't really comment in the review that the Jersey Devil about the nature of 13th child in the actual legend?
Yeah, it's actually, first they're like, oh no, it was this Native American who was killed by the British. Actually, the actual legend is not that. It was the 13th son of a 13th son who was a colonist. And apparently the colonist wife gave birth to this child that immediately sprouted imp wings and flew up the chimney and out into the sky. Quite honestly.
Yeah, like we didn't comment on it in the actual review because I felt it was just easy enough just to say this film has absolutely nothing to do with the original legend that spawned it.
Yeah, but Google the legend because it's actually, it's pretty cool because it's one of those things that's endemically American, you know?
That's why it's also called the Leeds Point Devil after Leeds in the UK.
It is?
Yeah, it's also called
Was
the.
that where the guy was originally from?
Don't know, but Leeds Point was named after Leeds, which is a city in England.
Oh. Well, I knew about Leeds in the city in England. And she's like, I'm gonna call my boss and tell him I'm not gonna be in on Monday.
Yeah, fuck the police.
And I don't like how it has like an alien mouth. Like it has like one mouth and then another mouth.
It wasn't even. I thought that the mouth changed at different points, but maybe it's shape shifting, turning into a spider again. I don't know.
It's turning into different props.
Possibly.
And it's like, oh no, the spider, we'll whack it with your cane.
Yeah.
It's like, stop letting it bleed, whack it with your cane.
This part actually ruined something for me. I had this concept for like in a script and all, where a thing would teleport through a pool of blood, and they basically took the idea and they made it bad. God damn it.
Damn it!
Aww.
Why does Hagen think that's adorable when Omega does it?
I just think you're taking the confused Hagen as confused, so Hagen's like, you're trying to do what I do. Aww.
I'm a wee viewer too.
Pretty much. That's why Hagen finds it amusing.
This is actually the first canon meeting of Hagen and Omega, quite honestly.
In my show, yeah,
I keep saying quite honestly. So.
my in my show, if I'm doing a crossover or a cameo for someone else, I generally view it as an alternate reality, just so I keep my own continuity in mind, so I can free myself up to do stuff that wouldn't really be appropriate in other shows.
True. Although I like the idea that when Hagen comes to America, Omega is somehow subcontracted as a minion.
Yeah, TV Trope said that. Yeah, I never noticed until editing, but behind him walking there, you can see Blondie going to see the Rafiki.
Oh yeah, I thought you knew that. Like I figured that's why he was there. He was waiting for her to come out.
I had not noticed. Well, maybe I was trying to block out as much of this film as I could.
Cliff Robertson, Mr. Shroud. She's a full district attorney. I thought she was an ADA. That's even worse.
I thought,
Wait a minute, if she's the district attorney, what the fuck is she running around the woods for?
no,
And
the
who is her
Blondie was
boss?
the assistant DA, while the Englishwoman was the DA.
Oh, okay, then I was wrong. Like seriously, that building is a factory. It is not a mental health institution.
Yeah, and
Don't
oh,
think.
jeez.
Hmm?
Sorry, I'm just watching clips from 13th Child and going, oh fuck, that's a bad film.
Those teens never got their clothes back. They had to stay in the skank trailer forever.
Yeah, the teens who have no logical reason to be there. I got the feeling it was like the producer's nephews or nephew and friend or something. I don't know.
I like how Omega's so like, hey, how you doing? We should totally watch a movie again. You're like, no, none of that.
Yeah, you completely misunderstood what I wanted with for that. I didn't want you to be all like flirty. I wanted you to be more like, hey, we could totally be friends and watch films together. Be like friends together. And you misunderstood, which is still
Oh,
funny. It's just completely different from what I expected.
mm. That was and the line, "Oh my God, that sucked." What happened was, so the credits ran years ago when we saw it on opening night, I might mention, and the lights came up, and then this woman in the back of the theater goes, "Oh my God, that sucked."
I was a little bit disappointed that you didn't use that voice style whenever you went, "Oh my God, that sucked" in as Omega.
I tried to, but my throat was hurting.
I thought that would have made the line even funnier.
I'm sorry. We'll just tell everyone to listen to the commentary.
Oh my God, that sucked.
My God, that's it was the truth.
Uh,
Oh, coming soon. What is this?
Shogun Assassin.
I helped.
Yeah, like this is the first of 3 episodes that I had to come up with pretty much last minute by my standards because Rap Critic and I were supposed to do several crossovers together, but he had to delay until summer, even though my episodes were already written for that. But so I had to come up with some new episodes, and
And that'll be about it, I guess.
yeah. Bye bye.